Just finished putting everything back together. Got 3 cables coming out of it. Power cord, the USB cable that connects the USB encoder to the PC, and the sensor cable that's connected to the sensor. So let's power this thing up. Just power it up. My sensor's not stable, but it's still detecting. I'm not gonna fuss with trying to get it stable because the moment I move it, it's gonna change position anyway. So once it gets mounted, we'll fix that. Let's connect this thing to the PC. There you go. It's connected. It thinks it's a joystick, which is cool. My old setting, I had a keyboard encoder instead of a USB encoder. Let's go in here and make sure we're getting the right input. Let's see if number 11 turns on when I put my hand through the sensor. There it is. It turns on. So the big difference here is that before I used to use a keyboard encoder, which did the job. However, it was like a keyboard. And what would happen if the sensor got blocked? It was equivalent to someone holding on the X button, and it would create that. Now, I bet there's ways to disable that. What I did is I changed the frequency or the rate that it would output to, like, I forgot how many seconds. That helped. But having the joystick option is a better option. The thing is that now we got to convert the joystick button to translate into a keystroke. Luckily, there's software that does that. It's called Joy2Key. A lot of people who build arcades, they use this. The USB encoder is way cheaper. It's like $6 compared to a iPAQ keyboard encoder, which is about $40 for the cheapest one. So let's use this. Let's create a profile, call it sensor. Okay. Now let's look for button 11. I'm recording with my tablet, so a lot of moving. Okay, let me see here. So I want it to emulate the letter X. And what's cool is the auto repeat is checked off. So if the line gets turned off and there's a chicken that gets stuck in between the sensor and the sensor stays on, it's not gonna keep repeating the X key. So that's what's cool about this. So let's okay that. Let's minimize that. And now let's open the Excel sheet I'll be using. So here's the Excel sheet. So every time I run my hand through the sensor, it's gonna generate a stamp. See that? So here's another one. Putting my hand through the sensor. And the gauge is basically calculating how many a minute. What's cool about this counter is not just counting, but it's creating a timestamp. So therefore I could go back and calculate how many stamps within a certain time frame to gauge efficiency, to see if we're productive that day, or see where our slowdowns were and stuff like that. The next thing to do is try to see if we could get more sensors connected. Maybe like 4 of them, but I hate to build 4 of these. So I'm wondering if there's a way to just use one of these, because I got 22 available inputs. Connect them all to this one single device. Thing is, I just don't know how Excel's gonna, well, I don't think Excel could handle it, but I wonder if maybe virtual machines, maybe VMs, maybe if I could have 4 VMs and if they could share the hardware. I'm wondering if I could, you know, assign an input to each virtual machine and do it that way. The next thing will be is how do I connect more than one sensor when I just have one cable? That'll probably be a question for Mike. And then the virtual machine question will probably be for Jesus.